Hey traders, Shane from GMT Futures and FX. Welcome back. What we're going to do is look at the chop indicator again, and we're going to have a look at our cutoff for the chop indicator. So that's really working with the strategy and finding out what point do we turn off the strategy based on a rise in value in the chop indicator. Because remember, if the chop indicator is rising in value, the market's getting more choppier, less trendier. So what we want to do is we want to determine what's the optimal level for us to turn our system off. So this is really kind of defining the market volatility and the market movement. So that's what we're looking for in the indicator. We're looking for it to define the current market profile, so we can get a better understanding and a better performance on our strategy. So with our GMT pivot trader, what we're looking for is that value that we need to turn our strategy off. So if we go into our strategy settings at the moment, if we go format strategy and we go to the GMT pivot trader, you'll see that 3/4 of the way down we have our chop filter. So the first thing we're going to look at today is we're going to look at length and the chop filter turn off, on or off, and the cutoff value. So these three components here. So at the moment I've got the filter on. If it's a 1, then it's telling us that the filter's on. If it's 0, then the filter's not working at all. So the indicator's not working. So the length is the period at which it's looking back. So it's a period of 14 bars there. And what we want to do potentially is optimize on that, as well as our cutoff value. So let's have a look at the performance. If we're just using a look back period of 14, we're using a cutoff of 55. So we'll see how many trades that's allowing to go through. So basically, if we wanted to line our indicator up with our strategy, which we always want to do, we would go in here and change our indicator to 55 as our cutoff, our upper band. Well, we won't do that just yet. We'll just see what the performance is like on 55. So the performance report, is a little bit jaggedy. We haven't optimized this yet. So we're just using the basic filters to get our optimal strategy settings, which we call our high performance system settings. Now, this is really our pilot system or our baseline system. So we want to get this as profitable as possible, and then start looking at obviously working on our stops as well. So at the moment we haven't really done too much to this strategy. Let's have a look. It's the keys for us obviously are making sure that we've got an average trade net profit of over $50, getting closer to 100. We want to actually have our commissions and slippage built in, so we'll add those in shortly. And we also want to make sure that we've got this is our in sample data, so we want to make sure that we have an out of sample data set up as well. So what that basically means is that if we right click on our strategy and we go to optimize this, which we're going to do now, so we go down to our chop indicator and we're going to optimize on our cutoff. So we'll go optimize. We're going to set it at 30. Obviously 30 is going to be too low, but 92.7 increments of 3 will go okay. We'll optimize that, and that'll take us to this standard optimization screen, and you'll go into advanced settings. You'll make sure that your out of sample data, that's the data we get to see once we've done our optimization. So once we've finished our complete optimization, we've got happy with our high performance system, then we can see what the last 30% of our data has done, which is our out of sample data. That tells us if our system is robust enough going forward. So at the end of these videos, you're going to see exactly how this system performs once we go through all these processes of optimizing our filters. And what we need to remember too, though, is when we do our optimization, we don't want to do a sneak peek of this 30% of data, which will be probably about 1.5 to 2 months. We don't want to do that, because then we're curve fitting our strategy. So we want to completely build our system with our optimization, leave our 30% of data unseen, and that's what we do with TradeStation here. Then when we're finished, we're happy, we're done, then we have a look at our out of sample data to see how the system performs and whether it's robust enough going forward. Then the next stage would be our walk forward analysis. So at least let's get the tick on our out of sample data, but we're still building our strategy, so we need to go back in here. We need to optimize this. We're trying to get our average trade net profit up. Ideally for me, I want to get it up to $100, like particularly on crude oil, because we've got to build slippage and commissions in, which we will in a second. But our goal here is to get that up as high as we can, that average trade net profit. Alright traders, so our optimization has finished. We're looking at our in-sample data. So this will basically be today's the 11th of Feb. You can see there that this is running up until the 14th of Jan. So we've got our 30% still waiting to be kind of unveiled and to see how this steps forward or goes forward as far as its performance, and that's how we determine whether the system or strategy is robust enough. Let's have a quick sweep of the stats here. Remember, our target is $50 plus. I'd like to get 70, and we're at 32, so we've gone from 24 to 32. Not too bad. Our net profits increased dramatically. We've added almost $5,000 to our overall performance, or over $5,000 to our overall performance. 263 trades, so we're getting a lot more trades. Let's have a look at where our cutoff's sitting though. Go into the strategy, go down to our cutoff, and it's telling us that our cutoff now is 69.9. So that's where we don't take any trades, because based on the optimization, that hasn't been profitable at all above that level. So thanks for joining us, traders. That was a quick review of our cutoff of the chop indicator. That allows us to basically make sure that we've got some type of cutoff on this filter, and that'll eliminate obviously a lot of the choppy price action that we get in our trades that filter through to our trades. So thanks for joining us for that video, that training video. We're going to go through our rising value in our next section, and looking forward to taking you through the training. Cheers.